Hello and welcome to Podix Classroom, and today we're going to be looking at a little bit of coding. A few people have been struggling with the if-else command, so I'm going to take you through that today and show you how to use it. So if I just move myself out of the way, stick myself way down in the corner, and then we can get on with our task today. So as I said, we're going to look at the if-else block in TwoCode. It's a really powerful tool for helping us to make decisions and make the programming do different things. We'll explain what it means, we'll explain how it works, and we'll look at some examples of if-else in real life, because it's actually something that you probably do all the time. So we'll have a look at all those sorts of things. We're going to look at the switching backgrounds assignment, which is a nice introduction to if-else. It leads on to the slightly more tricky night and day assignment, but once you have grasped the if-else code, you should be able to go on and do night and day quite easily, and hopefully that's what we'll be doing next week. We've looked at creating variables, so we've created a variable. It will be used to keep track of things that can change while a program is running, and that's the important thing, because you can get the program to have a look at the variable every now and then and do something depending on what the variable is saying. Remember as well that we can change a variable. We have this command to change variables, and that again is all part of the tool. If we manage to change a variable to a different value, it can have your program doing a different thing. So this is why variables are so powerful, and they're in all your games software that you might run and that you might play. They use these variables all the time. Okay, so this is what my variable looks like when we create the variable on Purple Mesh. Okay, so we have got our, let me just get a little drawing here, just move this over slightly, and then I can do, all right, so we've got our initial command here, which is to create the variable. Okay, our variable is actually a number variable. We did get a choice of having a string variable or a number variable. So we're choosing numbers because we're using our variable is just going to have two. It's going to be either 0 or it can be 1. And both of those are numbers, so we have a number variable. What we can also have as well is we have our name of our variable. The name of the variable in this case is Big Switch. It starts off as my variable number 1 or something like that when it begins. It's important that you always change the name to something that means something, because you could have lots of different variables in your program, and having proper names to them helps you to understand which one is controlling what. Okay, and this final part of our command here is the actual value of our variable. So we've created a variable, it's a number variable, it's called Big Switch, and at the moment its value is 0. So what are we going to do with this? Well, we've got something really important that goes along with our variable. We've got this variable box, it's called variable watch, and it lists all the variables that you have got in your program, and it tells you what their value is. So we can see that the one that we've only got one variable, and it's called Big Switch, as we can see, and at the moment its value is 0. Now we've also got background in there, telling the color of the background, because the reason why we've got that is because our variable is going to be used to control the color of the background, so that's why it's telling us about background. Okay, so that box is very important. It tells us where we are in the work. Okay, so let's have a look at now. We've looked at variables. Now let's look at this command that's been causing people some problems. So we're looking at the if-else command, which is this one up here, the if-else command. And the if-else command is where it's telling us that we're making a choice, okay? And what it will do is it tests what we call a condition, the condition of something, okay? So it's really just looking at the value of something. We call this the condition. So we're looking at our variable, and we're going to be checking to see whether our variable is 0 or not 0. That's what we're going to be looking for. If the condition is true, right, so if something happens and if they ask it and it is true, then the commands inside the if block are run. Okay, so if I just move this little bit out of the way, I can show you on this other picture. Come on, let's move it. Where's it going to move? Yeah, there we go. Stick it at the top there. So what we've got is we have got, let's get my arrow out, and we have got our, this is our if block, and it says if something equals something, then. All right, so if something equals something, then, well, what? Well, then it does whatever's in this bit. All right, but we've also got an else, and it only goes to the else if this bit isn't true. So if this bit doesn't equal what it says it equals, it misses out this and goes to else, and then it does whatever's in the else block. Okay, so that's pretty much the way that they work. And let's have a look and see now how this does. I thought it would be nice if we actually gave you a real life example of if else, because you will do it all the time. If else, you might not use those words, but let's have a look at an example. There's a few of you out here that might collect football stickers. So if I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy some stickers, there's a question that's going to be there is, what am I going to do with my stickers? This is where I'm going to ask this if else question, because if I don't already have them, I will put them in my sticker book, because everybody who knows about buying stickers is you get a pack of maybe 5 or 6 in the sticker in the pack, and when you look through those stickers, if you've been collecting them for a while, some of them, I've got that one, got that one, got that one. Oh, here's one I don't have. And what you're doing with that is you're asking yourself, do I have it? So this is my if. If I don't already have them, I will put them in my sticker book. That is the first part of my if else statement. That's the if block. But what if this isn't true? What if I've already got them? What am I going to do with them? Well, else I will swap them with my friends. So we've got these two things that will happen when I buy football stickers. I could stick them in my book, or I could swap them with my friends. And that's my if or else. And that's all the if or else does. It's checking whether something is true, and if it's true, there will be something that happens. And if the condition is false, something else will happen. Come on. Okay, so let's have a quick look at how that looks in our blocks. Now I'm just going to get my arrow again. So this is my variable. I've created my variable here, and my variable is called Big Switch, and at the moment it's set to 0. Okay, now this is my big switch is actually a switch. So what happens first is I click the switch, and when I click the switch, that's the signal for my if else to happen. All right, so the if asks about big switch, asks about the condition of big switch. So if big switch equals 0, then this bit that's in the indentation just below if, that's in the if box, this is what's going to happen. The background will be changed to white, and big switch will then set itself to 1. So it's getting changed from 0, where it was beforehand, it will then set to 1. Okay, so those are the two things that will happen if big switch equals 0. Now that we've looked at the if side, let's have a look at the else side. So we've checked first of all if big switch equals 0. Now sometimes when we check it, it won't equal 0. Sometimes it will be 1. So if that happens, if it's 1 and it's not 0, we miss out this bit, we don't do it, and we go to else. And then we do whatever is in the else block. And this is what's in the else block. We change the background color to black, and big switch is then set to 0. So we've got these two things that can happen. Okay. Right, now that I've shown you how to do that, what I want you to do is I want you to go to code. Scroll down to the given section, and in the given section you will find switching background. Have a go. It's not set as a to-do at the moment because this video is going to be there for you, so you don't need to click on it. Just launch the app and have a go at doing it. And remember, it does it in chunks. It doesn't do it all in one go. It does it a little bit at a time. So you might, in the first 2 or 3 of the challenges that you've got, you've only got part of the instructions. It's not until you get to the 4th challenge that you will finish off the if else command. Okay, good luck with that. Let me know how you've got on. Thank you very much for listening.